It's been a while, guys. Welcome back, or welcome to Geekborn. Glad to be back after such a long time not making content. But since I've been gone, it looks like the world has been getting into anime. Um, and of course, you've seen the title, seen the thumbnail. You already know that we're talking about the shonen behemoth that is Naruto.
Just watch. Someday I'll be Hokage.
Naruto, Naruto. We're gonna get into it. We might have some small spoilers for the series, the main series, and then I mentioned something. It's kind of a big thing, but if you know the show, you already know about it. It happens in Shippuden. But mainly, we're here to talk about broad strokes about the characters in the show in general. So, to begin with, the first way that Naruto has changed my life, so what we're here to talk about, is the fact that I was watching the show when I first started almost all the time. I could hardly stop. I was even watching while I was at work. I'm a dishwasher, so watching while I'm at work, not really an issue. But it got to a point where I was having issues, keeping up with the show while I was getting busy. So I had to stop. You know, um, I had to quit watching the show while I was at work. I'm not going to quit my job for the anime, but this was before I hit my largest amount of time watching Naruto. And even while I was working, when I was not watching Naruto at work, but was working full time, plus spending the time to squat up with my boys just about every night on Fortnite, I was watching 100 episodes of Naruto a week.
Shadow Clone Jutsu!
Between really that happened when I started Shippuden later on. You might say that cramming 100 episodes into a 7 week period with the schedule that I had, working and playing Fortnite, you can kind of say that might be a life changing thing. But I was already awake, you know. I just chose to spend that time with Naruto. So we watched Naruto Shippuden, and I'm currently about 130 episodes into Boruto, making my way through the series, and hopefully I can catch up since they're still putting out new episodes of Boruto at this time. It's the longest anime investment that I've made, maybe the longest one I'll ever make. I know really you can't get much bigger than this, and going over to One Piece, which is still an ongoing series as well and has more episodes than all of Naruto, Shippuden, and Boruto put together. By a couple hundred, I think. They're over 1,000 episodes at this point. But I've had a lot of fun, on this journey with Naruto, watching him and his friends, their classmates, grow up over time, watching them have kids. Great seeing the kids grow up to be excellent shinobi in their own right. There have been many ways that Naruto has changed my life, besides, watching so much of it in a short period of time. And it's changed my perspective on things, much like the characters change their perspectives as they come across Naruto in the show. I think one of the greatest things about the series as a whole is the fact that Naruto and a lot of his characters are fairly relatable and characters you can empathize with in their own right. In different ways. Naruto, of course, being the main character, you can empathize with him a lot. But we also have so many other characters. Naruto's at the top of the list, along with the handsome devil of the Hidden Leaf, Rock Lee. They got to be two of the top shinobi that I feel like I can relate with across the show. We're going to start talking a little bit about Naruto, and we'll get back into Rock Lee a little bit later. So we see Naruto at the beginning of the series. He's shunned and lonely. Because of this thing that he is, having the Nine Tails sealed inside him, being this Jinchuriki. He's left alone. Most people are told not to deal with him. He just doesn't understand why people don't want to deal with him all the time. It's very upsetting, for to be such a young kid and not have anyone around for you. I mean, he's taking care of himself and he doesn't have anyone to care for him up at that point, but he always does his best to paint on a smile and stay positive. He doesn't want anybody to feel sorry for him. Comes on a team, see Squad 7. They go on their first mission and they come across Haku and Zabuza. Now, Haku seems to be in this very unfortunate relationship with Zabuza, giving everything to protect Zabuza, but it really just seems one-sided that Zabuza's just getting everything out of this relationship. But Haku really loves and cares for Zabuza and will do anything for them. But Naruto eventually goes through and encounters these types of situations a lot. You see a lot of these kind of relationships in the series, but Naruto eventually goes through and he gives this heart-wrenching, emotional, inspirational speech to Zabuza. And eventually we hear Zabuza say the words that we will think a lot as we go through and see these different instances that Naruto has with all these different characters along his path.
Your words cut deep. Deeper than any blade.
And be tested later on. This is where we meet Gaara. By this point, we're still learning about a lot of the characters, still fairly early on in the show, but Gaara is a very lonely child.
No! Stay away!
Learn about Gaara because of this. We learn that it's also because, like Naruto, he is a Jinchuriki and was treated essentially the same way.
Freak! Freak!
Freak! Why don't you die?
Naruto eventually goes through and shows Gaara that it means a lot to have people that you will fight for, and have people that you care about, and that Naruto becomes Gaara's first friend.
Love. Is that the thing that makes him so strong?
Now, I'm sure that a lot of us wouldn't watch the action series Naruto if it lacked the amazing fights and the action that it is, known for. It would.
That is better! Now I will be able to move freely!
Come on, you really think you'll be able to get through Gaara's defenses just by dropping a couple of pounds of weight?
Be an action anime anymore if we didn't have all the action. But more often than not, in a series that's all about freaking shinobi and ninjas running around all over the place, Naruto, more often than not, puts away his ninjutsu and asks, "Who hurt you?" And very often, Naruto can relate to a lot of the people that he comes across in this way. And a lot of people, starting with Gaara, and eventually one of the biggest ones that he relates to that we really talk about, the spoiler I want to mention for Shippuden, is Pain, or Nagato, if you would like. That character ends up meaning a lot to Naruto just because of the bond that they have, the fact that they were both trained by Jiraiya, the pervy sage, and Nagato thought that he would be the child of prophecy that Jiraiya was told about, and then eventually Naruto becomes the child of prophecy. Eventually, I mean, they're both the children of prophecy. We learn later. Sorry for the more in-depth spoilers that I didn't really want to get into, but the fact is that Naruto goes through and he persuades, after Nagato destroys, completely obliterates the Hidden Leaf Village. Everyone's dead for the most part, but Nagato has the Rinnegan. The Rinnegan's main power, eventually, is the fact that you can use its power to bring people back to life, but to do so, you have to sacrifice yourself. And Naruto eventually convinces Nagato that he needs to do the right thing, shows him the error of his ways, and gets Nagato to sacrifice himself to bring back the people of the Hidden Leaf Village. Now, that's some of the bare bones things, for the most part, that Naruto has to offer. But I did mention Rock Lee. And of course, we can't forget him. He's got a lot more issues than most of the shinobi that he went to school with, most of the people in his class, because most shinobi ninja can use ninjutsu or genjutsu. Ninjutsu and genjutsu both use your chakra concentrating your chakra to do specific things. And Rock Lee can't do either of these. He has to rely solely on his own power, the taijutsu that he can do on his own. But the power that he has, the willpower that he has, to just continue to do anything.
200 push-ups, that was the deal. If you cannot finish them, it is 100 leg squats, so come on. Here we go. 190.
He knew he had a dream that he wanted to be a respected shinobi, no matter the what, no matter the cost. The fact that it doesn't matter if he doesn't have the ninjutsu or the genjutsu, he knew that he could persevere and do it, with his immense willpower and having Might Guy as a teacher to keep him on his path. That is really what is going to be the thing that allows him to reach his goals. And with the power of Rock Lee, we learn that no matter what obstacles we may face, there is a way to reach your goal. To sum it up, Naruto's taught me a few things. He's taught me that there's almost always someone that can relate to you or knows what you've been through, and you need to remember that you're not alone. You need to always try to stay positive in situations where you can. You can't always let your emotions and your feelings get to you. Of course, with situations where it's hard, you got to try to deal with situations the best you can. Words can often be the best way to deal with a given situation. And like we learned from Rock Lee, with a strong will and perseverance, and maybe a little bit of effort from someone as strong like Might Guy, you can accomplish just about anything. And remember, the one main thing we learn from Naruto is, in the ninja world, those who break the rules are regarded as scum. That's true, but those who abandon their friends are even worse than scum.
In the ninja world, those who break the rules are scum. That's true. But those who abandon their friends are worse than scum.
And remember, Shadow Clone Jutsu! Some of us are just born geeky. Have a good one.